Happy New Year's, everyone. We're back finishing up this last phase of training for this Xmas training vlog. Day 3 today. Snatch complex, vertical jumps. We're gonna go through some things. You guys probably saw some of the clips if I put them in. I don't remember when I'm gonna edit this, if I'm gonna put them in or not. Some of the warm-ups and just kind of drilling some positions. For this snatch complex, I'm trying to think about being very technical when I get to the below the knee of as I'm driving up, pushing, rotating, making sure I'm pulling that bar back into me so that way we can make that good hip contact. On a couple of the warm-ups, especially as the bar was lighter coming from the knees, instead of pulling back, I was kind of swooping and then coming in. Doing that is going to cause that contact to be more horizontal instead of vertical. So I want to make sure that bar is staying nice and close to me so that way we can get a good pull on the way up. We got 7 sets of 1 for the snatch and for the seated vertical jump. We'll probably film a couple of those. I don't know if we'll film all 7 of them for today, but last week, last phase, we're at 72% for the hang today, so 115 pounds for the snatch complex. Making sure that everything's looking, feeling good. So first 2 sets of this complex done. The snatch complex, I feel like, has been one of my favorite teaching complexes I've done in a while, really trying to put myself in better positions for the snatch, making sure we're getting back to that hip position, making sure we're staying vertical, force is going up versus coming out. It's really eye-opening that as we start to go to longer pulls, where things for me start to get messy, right? So for me, like that below the knee, trying to drive up and then come out, I'm rushing the pull too much. I can feel it. I'm trying to extend before I'm in a good position. The bar is out in front of me, right? So I'm not doing a good job of keeping those lats engaged and pulling that bar into me. So I really like it. It's something I'm probably gonna keep in my next couple training phases, either as like a warm-up, as like maybe a potentiation block, we'll call it. So if we're gonna go like A1, maybe it's 3 sets of 1 of this complex, maybe even adding from the floor, adding some different levels to it. And then if I'm going into hang snatches, block snatches, whatever, say, Olympic derivative I decide to use in my next training, whether we're going into more full movements, is using this complex as like, again, a warm-up, a potentiation. Like I really like my barbell warm-up I have of just kind of making sure shoulders are feeling good. We're breaking down all the pieces in like hinging, shrugging, pulling, muscle snatches for catches, muscle cleans, things like that. But I think adding the snatch complex in is just going to be a way to layer on more technical practicing, I'll call it. I don't know if that's a smart way of saying it or not, to make sure this snatch keeps getting better and better and we don't kind of revert back to old patterns once we start getting into higher percentages. We're trying to maybe just muscle it more, like understanding that like the snatch is the technical of the two movements, clean and snatching, I think snatching is definitely more technical. It's the sexier lift, right? Like you can kind of muscle a clean, get it to where you need to be. The snatch, anything's off a little bit and the whole movement just goes to shit. So excited to kind of see how this comes, just like adding more to this complex as we're going through. So we're going on set 7 right now. Gave you guys a couple clips of them. As I think it was after set 2, on the below the knee snatch, made sure as I was coming back, pushing the legs back, pulling that bar into me, and just being very intentional about being more patient through this pull. Not the last set I wanted. Hip snatch, I didn't pop hard enough. It kind of was out in front of me. It is what it is though. I mean, at least as I'm going through each one of these sets, I can feel what I'm doing wrong and then hopefully correct it for the following sets. Shitty that this last one was my worst one, but it is what it is. We got Zercher squats I'm gonna take you guys through today. Last set of Zercher squats, higher volume, higher intensity. Clean this up, set ourselves up. After the warm-ups, I'll give you guys some clips of our Zercher squats for today. All right, so B block, back to these Zercher squats. We got 4 sets of 10, 165. I think it's like a 2% increase from the intensity from last week to this week. I'm not gonna lie, my elbows are like kind of that armpit or elbow pit area, super tender, but we're gonna get it through, making sure on every one of these reps, I still want to think kind of hips back a little bit, but I'm more so focused on driving those knees forward over my toes, right? Trying to get a real deep flexion of the knee as we're going through. So that's kind of going to be the thought process for these, really just trying to bias the quads on these. And honestly, I still feel just a big, by like 7, 8, 9, there's just a big pooling of blood in the quads, which is what we're looking for these. I definitely am gonna say the Zercher squats we're gonna keep in for our next phase of training. And I was kind of tinkering with some like concepts of what I wanna do. If I wanna stick with another 4 weeks of hypertrophy, make it 8 weeks total of moving into hypertrophy clusters. So larger sets, more standardized rest in between the sets, but it's going to allow us to hit a higher intensity because the working reps are going to be lower, but still having that like larger amount of total work and tonnage as we're going through. So excited to kind of see how these go and just trying to see where I can go on these Zercher squats. Again, I've never tested them. I've got a couple equations from people on like rough estimate maxes on them, but it'd be cool to kind of see like, all right, if we've got 8 sets of 5, every 2 sets we're feeling good, can we bump up that intensity and kind of get to like, not a rep max, but just kind of seeing where we can get to for these hypertrophy clusters moving forward. So 3 more sets of these. We'll probably give you one more view of them because nothing much has changed. I might give you a little bit more of me BSing here, just my thoughts around these Zercher squats. And then we're gonna dive into RDLs and then see, depending on time we have left, maybe hop into a little energy system stuff on the back end. All right, last one. Whew. Yeah, last one did not sit right and just felt like it was pinching something the whole time, but we'll shake it out. But that was our 4th set of these Zerchers. It's good stuff. So instead of doing the Romanian deadlift for our posterior chain, switched it up for the 45-degree back, just based on how my lower back was feeling after the Zercher squats. Like really loading and hinging, I don't know if it would have been a great idea. So we just went with 4 sets of 12 on the 45-degree back, just really focusing on squeezing the glutes, pelvis neutral, just kind of owning that position, really working that backside. I really love the 45-degree back. Anytime my back is flaring up, whether that's adding it into my warm-up, treating it as like a prehab exercise, or even throwing it on the end of what I'm doing for the day. And the way this Body Master is, it's really long, even on like its lowest setting. So having your heels kind of in the pad, it really lengthens that whole hamstring and calf, so that way as you're kind of bending down, you're really getting a good loaded stretch, even if it is only body weight, in kind of like that maximum strength position. So that's it. Day 3, week 4, guys. Just a little short, raw clips of kind of the training, what things have changed, how are we progressing it as we're going through. We've got one more day of filming. We'll get tomorrow's lift in for the end of this training phase. It'll also be the end of this kind of like Christmas vlog break series that I kind of created just because I had the time, not going into work, just having more free time to being able to film and like sit down, besides just trying to knock my training out in like an hour and 10 minutes. So hopefully you guys enjoyed these videos. Let me know if you have any questions on the programming. Like I said last video, there's some new things going to be coming this way to this channel, a little bit more educational stuff that I'm diving into. And then a project that me and someone have been working on, that's kind of coming to fruition. So I'm going to kind of take you guys along the steps of each one of those projects. So appreciate you guys for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments.